The sun, source of warmth, light, indeed of life itself on our planet. The ancients prayed to the sun as a god. Now we're beginning to see the sun as a potential rescuer from one of our greatest dilemmas. To reduce our dependence on the fossil fuels killing our forests, choking our cities, and laying us at the mercy of political turmoil. This is the story of a remarkable rally, Tour de Sol, the World Championship of Solar-Powered Vehicles. For the third time, a group of engineers, experimenters, hobbyists, and adventurers will race their eccentric sun-powered vehicles right across Switzerland to prove that solar power works, and better than you might think, too. This year's Tour de Sol runs from the west of scenic Switzerland eastwards into the Alps in 6 days. Our Sunshine Rally begins at the end of June in the northwestern Swiss city of Biel, traditional center of the Swiss clock industry. Biel's engineering school is strong in research into solar energy, home of last year's world champion solar racer, winner of Tour de Sol 86. Sunday, June 28th. The scene, the grounds of a Biel junior school. It's the day before the rally, and contestants have arrived for technical certification and last-minute modifications to their cars. Tour de Sol's publicity machine has been hard at work, and hundreds of spectators have come out to admire and wonder at the odd creations arrayed in the sun to draw solar energy. This is a scene to be repeated 6 times by the end of the rally in Arosa next Saturday. These solar panels are at the center of the story. In the last few years, their ability to draw energy from the sun has increased dramatically up to the 16% range, still far from the efficiency necessary for everyday use on the highway. But the practical experience of the Tour de Sol goes a long way toward making that day ever closer. How does it work? In simple terms, sunlight hitting the surface of the solar cell frees electrons in its silicon crystals. The electrical energy thus created is capable of charging a battery. The solar cars actually run on the stored energy in the battery, allowing them to keep going at night or in the rain as long as power lasts. While they may not look very exotic, the batteries used on the Tour de Sol are specially designed for solar energy. Batteries like these have thick tubular plates to give longer life on cloudy days. Tour de Sol is not the only attraction in Biel this weekend. The people of Biel are celebrating their annual festival. And on Sunday, thousands of people have come to watch a colorful parade through the city center. Tour de Sol contestants have little time to notice the festivities, especially not Veronica Klingmann, who has arrived without a mechanic but with plenty of technical problems. Members of other teams are willing to help at times like this. Nearby, a street has been closed off for the technical tests. One of the most important is the brake test to make sure Tour de Sol cars can stop fast enough in an emergency. Tour de Sol is held in normal traffic on open roads to prove the viability of the solar cars as a means of transportation. Her other technical problems solved, Veronica is back for a second try at the brake test. On this first go, she simply didn't react fast enough. Now she's allowed another attempt. It's still not as good as it could be, but after a few anxious moments, she finally gets her certification. She's a couple of hours late for an appointment back home in the southern German city of Freiburg. Why, we asked, must she drive back to Germany on the evening before the rally? Because she tells us her mechanic, an employee of the German Automobile Club ADAC, has to be picked up after the work shift. He will be Veronica's sole team during the race.
Und dann habe ich hoffentlich jemand, der mir schrauben hilft zukünftig.
Okay, tschüss.
Monday, June 29th, the first day of the rally. Today the solar cars will run from Biel to the Lucerne suburb of Emmen, 102 kilometers, over 60 miles. The weather turned to sunshine and seasonable warmth yesterday after one of the rainiest summers in European memory. Today, it looks like it's going to stay summery in keeping with the beginning of the Sunshine Rally. Here on the Lake of Biel, the essence of tranquility. Not so in downtown Biel, where the mayor is ready with the start flag. Tour de Sol 1987 is underway. First away are the sleek entries in Category 1, which is for racing cars using only solar power. Category 2 cars are racers allowed to combine pedal power with solar energy. In Category 3, prototypes of designs for mass production. Some of these cars are already being sold to the public. Most have smaller solar panels because they get their charge from so-called solar gas stations, huge panels which are towed to strategic points in the rally. A division of this category puts mass production cars with pedals in their own class. Swiss Formula One racing driver Mark Surer and Berliner Karl-Heinz Schumann are driving in Category 4 for cars charging from solar power provided from the electricity grid. In 3 years, the field has almost doubled. In 1985, 58 cars ran the race. This year, 96 cars have qualified. 20 were denied entry for technical reasons. Many more will fall out before the rally reaches Arosa, 441 kilometers, 274 miles from the start line, over hills and valleys, beside lakes and rivers, through villages, towns and cities, and right up the side of a mountain on the final leg. 6 grueling days from today. The highlight of today's first leg is through the Emmental, famous for its cheese, renowned for its gently rolling landscape and traditional farmhouses. While high-tech concepts like solar energy may seem out of place here, it is environments like this that are threatened by the dirty exhaust fumes we pour from our cars, day after day, year after year. Peter Brescher is the driver for Team Gridelli, last year's world champion in Category 2. Designer Romeo Gridelli is a cook in a restaurant located in a castle in the town of Stein am Rhein on the Swiss-German border. This year, bad luck comes early to the Gridelli team. Shortly after the start, a major breakdown requires repair work for several hours. I know I've now lost the World Championship, Brescher tells us, but we'll make our repairs soon, get back on the road, give it all we've got, and hopefully later I can at least win a leg or two.
In der nächsten Etappe nochmal voll zu attackieren und wenigstens vielleicht noch einen Etappensieg rauszuholen.
And Brescher does make it back on the road, gives it all he has, and stays in the race. A strong Category 1 contender, Solar Team Menzingen has to stop to repair a blocked wheel, but manages to get back on the road very quickly. They'll finish the day in 13th position, largely thanks to a pretty swift support crew. Others are not so fortunate. Here's one of the many who never made it to the first finish line.